Hello viewers, welcome to Joyous Kitchen. I hope you are all doing very good and very happy. Today I'm gonna show you one of my favorite kind of soup, which is meatball bean soup. Sometimes we have actually quite a lot of canned beans in our pantry and we don't know what to do with them, and then when we find them we usually see like the date is expired or so we can't use it anymore. So whenever you have this kind of canned bean, or even you don't need to be expired, maybe you just buy them and make this soup. Oh my god, it's so good. You can already see the picture how good it looks, and trust me, it's super yummy, and it's very healthy at the same time because I'm going to use quite a lot of beans, sausages, so it's just amazing. And I'm going to show you the easiest way how I do it. Just stay with me and enjoy the whole process. To make my meatball bean soup, I actually used here 3 cans of beans. So butter bean, mixed bean, and there is another Carolini bean. So whatever bean you have in your cupboard, doesn't matter that you have to use only this kind of bean. You can go for any kind of bean, even breakfast bean, whatever kind of bean you have. And I just mix them all together because that's how I'm gonna make my soup. So you can see, and this is canned bean, so it's already cooked and it's quite soft as well. So I washed them and then I'm keeping it in a corner for now just to drain all the water from it. To make my meatball, I took here 3 chicken sausage. You can go for minced chicken meat as well, but sausage is very easy option for me. And you can see that's how it looks, the sausage. And what I done, when the sausage is really soft, I just squish it, I press the skin of it, and then the meat usually comes out like that. And then I make them like a small ball shape. It's not perfectly ball shape, but trust me, it need to be rustic. You don't have to give it like proper ball shape. That's how it looks good in the soup. So I took actually 3 sausages you saw in the picture, and this is all the balls from that 3 sausages. You can make more or you can make less. At the same time, if you want to add some extra spices in this meat, you can go for it, like maybe black pepper or any kind of other herbs, but I want to keep it very simple and really like proper sausage taste. That's why I'm not gonna mix any herbs or any spices. At the same time, I took here 1 large onion and I finely chopped it, or like this is just rough chop. And then I took here, I need quite a lot of onion for this soup. I took here 5 cloves of garlic and I also finely chopped it. So I am going to use quite a lot of garlic in my soup. So here is 1 teaspoon of black pepper powder, 1 teaspoon of crushed chili powder, like normal chili flakes. This is for a little bit of heat. 1 teaspoon of sugar just to balance the sourness of the tomato. Salt taste wise. 2 teaspoon of plain paprika. This is just plain paprika, not smoked one. That's gonna give really good kind of smokiness. And 1 teaspoon of curry powder. So this is any kind of curry powder you can go for it, like African, Nigerian, Asian, any kind of regular curry powder, and it's 1 teaspoon here. At the same time, I took here around half handful of chopped dill and parsley, and another like little bit less than half handful of dill, chopped dill. So they look like that because I put them in the freezer because I keep them quite a long time, and that's actually good trick. Whenever you have like extra herbs, you can put it in the freezer, and whenever you need it, you can use it. So that's why they looks a little bit darker now, but trust me, the flavor is still on, it's fresh, it's like perfect. So I am using dill and parsley for this recipe, these 2 herbs. You can go for oregano or basil as well, but I'm gonna ask you to use this too. And at the same time, I'm gonna use 1 can chopped tomato, 1 can. So this is like the chopped tomato. You can go for plum tomato as well, just break it, that's it. And as I said, I'm using these 2 herbs. You can go for coriander leaves as well if you want. So in a deep pot, I already added here 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Yes, I'm gonna make my soup in olive oil. You can go for butter as well. That also gonna taste yummy. But I'm trying to make it a little bit healthy. That's why I chose olive oil. So I took here 2 tablespoons. I don't need too much for this kind of soup, you know. So I'm just adding a little more. So when my oil is hot, I already added my chopped garlic and I'm gonna fry it for 1 minute. I don't need to make it too golden brown, just a little bit soft, and that's it. And as you can see, I added quite a lot of garlic because gonna make my soup really delicious. So after 1 minute, I added my chopped onion as well. As the same way, I'm not gonna fry my onion too much. Maybe 2 minutes, just gonna give it a little bit time to become translucent and little soft. That's it. So I'm coming back after that. So after 2 minutes of frying, when my onion is done, I already added the dill. Only that dill I added here. Still, I didn't add any parsley or any other dill because that's for later. And I'm gonna fry it for another 1 minute. So now my onion is almost done, and this is the time I'm going to add my powdered spices, which is paprika, black pepper, chili flakes, curry powder. And as I said, you can use any kind of curry powder which is easy for you or convenient for you. And for the herbs, if you don't find parsley or dill, just go for coriander leaves. That also gonna work. That's it. So now I'm gonna fry it for another 1 minute. I added 1 tablespoon of boiling water, and you can see my spices are cooked properly, and you can see the color, the oil is came up. So this is the time I'm gonna add my chopped tomato here, and after adding the chopped tomato, I'm gonna cook it for another 2 minutes. Just gonna give it a little bit of time to like mingle together. You can go for fresh tomato as well if you want, but I prefer chopped tin tomato because they have really good kind of tanginess and strong flavor as well. So I'm gonna uncover my pot. I think my tomato is done after around 2 minutes. Yes. So now at this point I'm gonna add actually all my beans, because as I said, these beans are already cooked, but still I have to give it a little bit of time to absorb all the flavor, because beans are quite boring to eat because they don't have any taste. So you have to cook them properly. In that case, they're gonna be like really gonna soak all the flavor from the spices and everything. So now I'm gonna cook my bean for 4 to 5 minutes before I add the water and before I add my gravy. So I was cooking my bean for 3 minutes, and I just uncovered my pot, and that's how it looks. So it almost absorbed all the flavor from this pot, and this is the time what I'm gonna do. I don't want like too much big chunk of beans, so I'm gonna take one of the potato masher and I'm gonna mash some of the bean. You can use actually hand blender to do this part, but if you use hand blender, you don't have any control, and that's gonna make it like a very mushy and baby food. And if you use the manual potato masher, that's actually you can control it, like how much thickness you want. And trust me, just do it. If you are following my recipe, use one masher or big spoon or something and mash like little bit, like half of the bean or maybe less than half of the bean, and that's gonna make my bean soup really thick and creamy. So that's what I'm doing now. So half of my beans are already mashed up properly. You can see that some are like whole still, and some of them are like really creamy kind of texture. And that's the time I'm gonna add actually water in my soup, because obviously this soup not gonna be very thin soup. It's gonna be a little bit like thick soup, hearty soup or filling soup. So I'm adding around 2 cups of boiling water here. But if you want a little bit more thin soup, go for a little bit more water. But yeah. So now I'm gonna boil this soup for 2 to 3 minutes, then I'm coming back. So after 2 minutes of boiling, now I'm gonna add my meatballs. Because I'm using a sausage meat, and those sausage meats are very creamy, so I don't have to cook too long. Like maybe 3 to 4 minutes is done for these meats. And these are chicken, so you can understand how quick they're gonna cook, and I don't want to overcook it. But if you are using minced lamb or beef mince, then you have to cook maybe 6 to 7 minutes. So after adding the meatball, I'm gonna cover my pot and cook it for another 3 to 4 minutes. So after 4 minutes of cooking, I'm gonna uncover my pot, and I want to show you how it looks. Oh, it looks, the smell is coming from it. You know, if you know how the dill smell, the fresh flavor from the dill, from the spices, from the herbs, it's just amazing. And from the sausage, because sausage already have its own taste. And you can see, did you see how good the meatball looks? It looks very rustic. It don't need to be perfect. And my soup is done actually. So when my soup is done, this is the time I'm gonna add my rest of the herbs, which is parsley and dill. Little bit more dill and parsley, and that gonna give some extra fresh flavor in my final soup. As I said, if you don't have these two herbs, go for coriander leaves. That also gonna work. A little bit mint as well. Mint, if you have to use very small amount, otherwise it's gonna taste like menthol, but you can add a little bit. So my soup is done. I switched off my hob. It's ready, and now I'm gonna serve it. and I made this thing, which is another chopped and dill, like chopped dill and parsley, and at the same time I added some like grounded cheese as well. That one I'm gonna sprinkle on top of my soup, and that's like gonna make my soup amazing. Any kind of soup, just sprinkle a little bit of parsley, dill and cheese together, it tastes amazing. So this is for the top part, like for decoration and side purpose. So it's ready. So here you go guys, this is my meatball bean soup is ready for you. And as you noticed, it was very simple. It was really simple way I chose to make my soup, and you can understand how hearty, how like healthy and how tasty this soup gonna be. So whenever you have some kind of like bean cans and tomatoes and this kind of sausages, we always have actually in our freezer or fridge, so just use it and make this soup and eat it. Oh, it's so good, it's so flavorful, as I said, it's so tasty. And you can use actually like eat soup buns as well with it, but I don't prefer too much of bread, that's why I'm gonna eat it on its own, because it's quite hearty and heavy as well at the same time. But you can go for any kind of bread with it. So I hope you're gonna like it, and don't forget to like and subscribe my channel and follow my recipes and share my recipes with your friends, family and neighbors. And I hope you're gonna make this soup and enjoy with your whole family. So bye bye, take care, be positive, and thanks for watching my video. Bye bye.